If you're an immigrant in Australia and you feel like you have to start again from scratch just to get into tech or your dream career, what if I told you that thinking is costing you years? Your experience is not the problem. The problem is how you've been taught to position it. So in this video, I'll show you 3 things. 1, why discarding your experience is the biggest mistake you make. 2, how experience roles are actually easier to access than entry-level ones. And the 3rd one, the exact asset you need to move into 6-figure tech roles without abandoning your prior experience and collecting random certification that do not work. But if we're just meeting, my name is Noah, and in the last 8 years, I've dedicated to serving and helping people build high-income skills to move from exhausting, draining jobs into high 6-figure tech roles. So I started Sync Skills last year along with my wife, and together we've been able to create impact with not just 1, 2, but thousands to get started in their career. So if you're still here, I'll be sharing those strategies with you in this video. Now let's talk about the first problem. You hear people say, my overseas experience is irrelevant, I'll just bring it. There's truth to it in some cases. For example, if you study religious studies, international law, classical studies, all of these courses that may not be directly relevant in Australia. Of course, if you did international law and you're only grounded in Nigeria and Kenyan law, it won't work in Australia. The system is different. So yes, there's that. But the belief that your skills and your experience is totally irrelevant in Australia is what is holding most immigrants back. Because they say things like, I just need to get my foot in the door. Even if it's entry-level role, I hear that all the time. At first, it sounds logical. It feels like the easier way. But let me ask you, how is that going? Because that approach oftentimes don't actually work for a lot of people. Here is why. Entry-level roles are flooded. Competition is at the highest at the bottom, I always say. Because you see career changers, you see fresh graduates, you see locals, you see interns, you see people with Australian work experience and network. They all want to start from entry level. And when the recruiter scans those applications for you as an immigrant, you are judged harder for obvious reasons. Picture this, you have 5 to 10 years of education or experience. Now, a role is up, an entry level role, best suited for people with 0 to 2 years experience. But you've applied for it. Let's think about that for a second. How do you think the recruiter is feeling about your application? I'll tell you, in their minds, it doesn't quite connect. No one should realistically be applying for a role they are way qualified for, except of course you're desperate for the role. But desperation does not work. So really, the problem isn't that you are underqualified. The problem is where you are positioning yourself. But then you may say, Noah, how do I reposition this? Now, I'm going to give you the system that changes everything. So the first one is your thinking. Stop thinking only in job titles and tax lists. The second thing is to start asking this simple yet critical question. What part of my experience makes me the best person to add value to this problem? Because truth is, recruiters don't hire just for titles. They hire people who can clearly show that they can solve real problems and add value from day one. I say this all the time on career calls. I have people ask, what does a business analyst do? What does a project manager do? What's the nature of their job? Very few people ask the most important question. Why does organization or businesses hire for this role in the first place? Let me make it practical for you. Imagine you're the hiring manager. You have a team that keeps missing deadlines. Projects are running over budget, and oftentimes the wrong things are being built. All these are costing the business time, money, and credibility. Of course, in a fast-moving world, an hiring manager is at the point that they are not thinking, I just want somebody that can write requirements. No, they are thinking about, I want to bring somebody on board that's got the skills that can help bring clarity, align the stakeholder, and help this project succeed. The role might be called a business analyst, project manager, or something else entirely, but the real value is the same: helping business implement projects successfully. Most people never frame their experience this way. They list the tasks, I can create reports, I can write emails, and they list tools, they list certification, Google certification, PMP. They forget to frame the most important thing, which is the value they bring to the role. And once you understand this, you stop chasing entry-level roles and you start building what I call the career proof stack. With the career proof stack, there are 4 assets you need. Not 20, I promise, not endless courses as well. It's just 4. But let me say this clearly. Specialization is good, but in today's evolving market, especially with AI changing how work gets done, you also need range, which is why your past career is not totally irrelevant, especially for immigrant and career changers. I would say that is an added advantage. You've worked with people within systems, following set of processes. Yes, you have acquired experience. However, the mistake most people make is that they do not understand what they have been doing in the past and how it translates to tangible outcome for businesses here. Now that you understand, you need to think in value. Here is how to build the proof. First, you translate your past work experience properly. We are moving into the world where career portfolio matters more than a job title. So as part of the work I do at Sync Skills, where we help immigrants build skills and confidence, we emphasize the principle of skill stacking. So some roles are far easier to translate past experience irrespective of job titles. Roles like no-code roles, delivery roles like business analyst, project manager, scrum master, change management, software testing. These roles reward thinking, communication, execution, which are transferable skills from any industry. They are very different roles from roles like software development, data science, cyber security, where deep expertise in tooling and technical stuff is non-negotiable. And to secure experience in those roles, you need to have practice and gain practical understanding and gotten better with time as you work on more projects over the years. But if you've done something like stakeholder management, even if it's just you managing your wife or your husband, no pun intended, communication, active listening, problem solving, documentation, reporting, you get the gist. Those skills and experience you can easily translate and transfer into this no-code opportunity. And the pro tip I tell people, like, you are doing adult education, you're going to have to look after your family whilst you're doing learning. You do not want to start to transition into roles that are super technical and requires a lot of practice and time and working for a while to be able to get experience role that pays you nearly enough. But with roles like no-code opportunity, especially with our unique proprietary system at Sync Skills, we know how to help you transition your previous experience into those roles so that you can secure a 6-figure opportunity. Now with that, second, you need to build real project portfolio. I want you to document how you've made impact, the outcome you've delivered in your experience, not just tasks. This is where most people get stuck because they do not know what actually makes a project deliverable that matters. So this activity forces you to think in outcomes and also strengthens your resume. Here's a simple framework I teach. Every project you present, you should clearly answer these 5 key questions. 1, what is the company context? What type of organization did you work in? Many people make the mistake. They just mention the name of the company. The interviewer may not actually know what InterSwitch is. But if you say, oh, I worked at InterSwitch, a financial technology company that helps bank and financial institutions build financial products and digitize their experience, that is more context that helps them understand, and everybody knows what that translates to here. Secondly, what is the business problem you solve? What wasn't working, or the risk or cost that situation created before you joined the project? So you need to talk about that to draw your interview into that situation, and then talk about your role. What did you do? What were you responsible for? Your role should be like, I worked as a business analyst or a project manager. All of that gives context. Oh, this is actually what you did. And then what you did, action. You can mention your role and responsibility, but where you take it a step further is talking about the action you did. Like, I created a requirement documentation, facilitated workshop. All of that context helps people understand, oh, you've actually done this work. And the outcome, super important. You cannot afford not to talk about what you improved, the wastage you reduced because of the work that you've done. This structure alone separates experienced candidates from the amateurs or the entry-level people. When I review student portfolio, I'm looking out for strong points and projects aligned to these 5 things that I've talked about. So when I notice that some things are draggy or irrelevant or just activity, I help them reframe it so that they can really nail down and dive down on the value they provided. This is what separates people that get 120, 30, 40,000, 50 upward versus people that will be offered 60k salary. This is highly important. And that takes us to the next asset. Third one is the local credibility. Don't surrender to the Australian experience war. I know it can feel like a war. You have to go and find a way around it. That can look like 1. Job shadowing, reaching out to somebody already doing the role and observe how they do the work. Volunteering in a relevant environment. A short contract, even if it's unpaid, where you pitch clear value. I'll give you an example. A few years ago, you go to SyncSkills IG, you will see a lovely lady came and reached out to me at the time. We've just finished the webinar and she was on a student visa. She's been applying for internship across Australia. I was getting no responses. So she attended one of our webinars and instead of asking for a job, she explained how she could add value to what we're building at SyncSkills. I was convinced with the pitch and I was like, yeah, we can help you and you do this, and brought her into the team. She gained real experience. Those experience she gained over the years opened up opportunity for her to learn skills of a business analyst, and now she works as a senior business analyst, earning 6-figure opportunity. She didn't frame her request about her. She framed it about adding value to what we did, and she got multiple rewards and skills as a result. This strategy is in law. She demonstrated upfront value. What is the equivalent for you? So if you want me to do a video on why Australian employers love local work experience to minimize their risk, let me know in the comment section. And that takes us to the 4th point. Use AI to accelerate, but also with guardrails. Like, AI is here to amplify what you already know, not replace your thinking. First, clarify your path. You need to fix that portfolio using the earlier step we've talked about. Understand the role you're targeting. Then use AI to accelerate your research, structure your portfolio, prepare for interviews. If you do not know what good is, use AI to first learn what that looks like and ask experts to confirm, because AI has its weakness. It has hallucinates a lot and will confidently make up stuff. So you need guardrails to verify. For example, I share a custom GPT that I've trained using my unique knowledge and skills for over 3 years, helping immigrants change their lives. These are thousands of hours of knowledge poured into transcribe used to train this AI agent. Basically, I share with my students. And then you may say, what is the result of all of this? Let me share a real example to you. Like, students like Sharon and James, not their real names because I don't want to out them, didn't get hired because they collected more qualification. They got hired because they stopped playing the entry-level game and built proof that matched experience level expectation. In fact, I mentioned these names because we have 250 plus right now at the time of recording this video, because one was a mom that was so busy and she was tired and she was feeling am I confident enough to actually apply for entry-level role? She sent me this message. She got a job after I advised her to not go for entry-level roles, and in fact that's part of the inspiration for why I created this video, because I've been getting this type of message. I've just gotten the time to actually articulate and want to solve this for so many other people like you. Also, Jane got $152,000 job with one of the leading banks in Australia, following the process that we've just introduced in this video. What are the practical takeaway for you? Think about your skills, your experience, and what type of job or career you want to do for the long term. You can start by asking yourself a couple of questions. Do I want a flexible career? Do I want to learn technical tools or technical skills or not? Those are questions that will help you point in the right direction and gain some experience. Then you can reframe what we've been talking about, so you can apply the strategy we've talked about to position yourself for 6-figure opportunity. If you want our help, we can help you do that. That's literally the system we've built for years, helping people do that. But if you want to do it on your own, what you want to do first, you pick one role, one target industry. For example, you can pick business analyst, project manager, change manager, and similar roles. 2, write 6 achievement bullet points. This is critical. These are not just job duties. These are your proof statement. So each bullet point should structure like this: the action, the problem, and the outcome, tangible outcome with metrics. So you want to do something like you led stakeholder discussions to clarify requirements for a process, causing repeated delays, reducing rework from typically 10 user stories per sprint to just one. Or you say like you analyze a workflow and identify gaps impacting compliance, leading to cleaner handover. These are just some examples. If you don't show value, you're not going to be able to attract the opportunities that you want. And day 3 to 4, you want to build one project using the career profile we talked about. Not multiple projects, just build one strong one and structure it like we said: the company, the business problem, your role, what you did, and the outcome. You are showing how you've added value to the bottom line, not what tools that you've used. This is where most people that do this will shine and be able to position favorably. Now, the 5th thing you want to do, and on day 5, you want to align your LinkedIn and your resume. So your LinkedIn, your resume must tell the same story. You don't want to be saying you're a business analyst or project manager here, support work or accounting or divergent role. That is not good for you. Day 6 to 7, you want to practice your elevator pitch. Now, when you get to interview, sometimes you do like, I know, like the interviewer tells you, hey, tell us about your experience, and you're like rambling all of that shows that you're not prepared. If you can't explain your project clearly in 90 seconds and what you've done, your career highlight in 90 seconds, recruiter won't believe you've done it. So you practice this until you sound calm and confident. This is how you show up with confidence and you win that first impression game. A lot of our students are sync skills. Basically, they go into interview, and when they're done with the elevator pitch, most times they're like, wow, you've actually answered 2, 3, or 4 our other question, because it's so detailed, it's short, it's sharp, communicates the value that they are bringing to the role. So with that, if this video has helped you realize that you don't need to start again from scratch, I don't want you to continue guessing your next move. So I've put a free career poster template in the description of this video. Plus, because I like to over deliver, I put a no-code tech guide in the description just for you to understand what is possible in this space and the opportunity. It will show you how to turn your experience into an amazing career that will not only change your life but impact your network connection and gives you a new connection. A credible project portfolio will prove your value. A focused pathway is what actually gets a lot of immigrant hired. We have that formula as Sync Skills, and we've been doing it for people for the last 3 years. So if you want to change your life between 3 to 6 months, send us a message, comment in this video, let me know what you love the most. Other than that, I'll see you in the next video, but you can watch this video to learn more.